everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Real Podcast. I'm your host, David Moya, co-host Mike Campos, and today we have Jason Fogleman here.
Yeah, Jason.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Good. So I'm excited. First of all, we got the elephant in the room, dude. You're looking so good right now. What's going on?
Well, thank you.
Which one of us?
Gotcha. It's Jason. Of course, we're talking about you, man. Your jaw dropped.
I've dropped almost 50 pounds. When COVID first hit, I got a little scared with all the health issues from my family, and then of course this. So I decided it was now or never, and decided to change my diet up. So I started up keto, eating 1,300 to 1,500 calories on keto, doing about 5 to 8 mile walks every day, and lifting every other day. And I've dropped almost 50 pounds so far in the last weeks.
So, amen for that.
Thank you.
That's like huge. I mean, I feel like when you tackle your body and you change your body, it's such a great example of how you can impact like your life in a similar fashion, and it really trickles into a lot of different aspects of your life.
Really does.
I'm sure it's you're sure you can talk about that as well.
I am the lightest I have been in over 6 years as far as weight goes, which is crazy to me that I even let myself get this bad. I'm virtually sugar-free at this moment, and the amount of energy that I have just because of it is insane. And I'm just never going to go back the other way. That's awesome. A new lifestyle choice for me. So it's a change.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because when the pandemic kind of kicked in and we were officially quarantining, like I'm pacing the house, like trying to do work. The kids are going crazy. The first and second place I would go would be to the refrigerator and then to the liquor cabinet. Yeah. And I didn't know what else to do. In the middle of the day, we're just like, well, what do we do? It's like, let's just have a beer. And like, so to see that you just, completely say, hey, you know what? I'm in control. I know what's going on with my family. I'm gonna hit this head on, and that's mass kudos to you, because I know how hard it is to control the weight.
It is a beast. I got about 50, 60 more pounds to go, but I actually just reached out to a personal trainer in the Midwest who trains people for the Olympia. And I'm going to start working with him online, and I don't know, maybe get to a point where I can start competing. We're going to see.
Awesome. I like the sound of that.
Dude,
man.
So I would want to jump into the real estate stuff that we had talked about, but I really want to, if you guys are cool with it, like real quick, let's talk about how this is applicable to like life, right? So tackling weight, tackling just even your self-image, right? Because that's a big thing. So like, how do you really make a shift in your life? How do you change and create these big changes in your life? It really comes down to like, changes every day, like making these like decisions every day that over some period of time has these big changes, right?
Yeah.
So like, where did you kind of, what led you, well, rather, when COVID hit, you started to get a little bit like concerned about your health, which is great. Right. I mean, I love how you turned something like that into something positive. And then what really made that decision? Like, I really have to do this. And what kept you going?
I just turned 42, and being in my 40s, which I can't believe, I still feel like I'm 27 half the time. Being in my 40s, I noticed a difference in my energy levels. I noticed a difference in my body. I noticed a difference in the way that things are happening in my body. And I just, I've been fighting my weight my entire life. Even when I was a personal trainer in my early 20s, I was still fighting my weight back then. It was hard enough. And I don't want the second half of my life to be something that I'm constantly feeling insecure about or unhappy with. And I feel good right now, and I'm only going to be getting better and stronger and healthier and more in shape. And I think when I feel like I'm on point that way, everything else just kind of falls in line. My whole outlook has changed, really. And instead of being this cynical guy that I can be from time to time and a bit of a trash talker, even just to myself, I'm more calm. I'm more centered. I see things more clearly, and I'm just happier. And I make the joke, I've loved quarantine for the last 2 months because instead of my phone ringing 20 times a minute, it now rings 20 times a day.
Wow.
It's given me, and I know a lot of the other agents, a chance to sort of reset from the craziness that is this business that I've been in for 17 years. And now, things have slowed down a bit. The pace has slowed down a bit. I'm one of those people that has regrets about saying no to certain things that I should have said yes to in the past, and saying, you know what, I'll take that trip in a couple of months. I'll take that trip in a couple of months. And then a couple of months passes and I still don't take the trip because I'm going to take it in another couple of months because I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I think it's giving me the opportunity to really just sit back and think about what's important. And I'm a workaholic. Everybody knows that. I'm a career guy, and I'm a company man. I love this company. I love this career. I don't see myself going anywhere, but at the same time, I'm now starting to work to live, not live to work, which is what the last 17 years have felt like.
So, yeah, when you get stuck in that email jail, you get stuck in the pipeline, you get stuck in the kill of the sale, and you're fielding all these calls, the business controls you, and so then you don't have the opportunity to go eat. And next thing you know, it's like, oh, shoot, it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I haven't eaten since breakfast, and the next thing you know, you're falling behind with regards to trying to make any attempt to make progress. So I can see how being, quarantined and allows you to put yourself on the schedule, plan a little bit, maybe plan a day ahead of time with meal prep and your workout, and then work around, work your career around your training schedule and your eating schedule and stuff like that. It just puts you in the control seat now. And that's probably why you feel a lot lighter too. You know what I mean?
There is a lot less pressure, it feels like. And, in some senses, there should be more pressure because I get phone calls every day from agents. How am I supposed to make money when I can't hold open houses? Originally, we couldn't even show property at one point in the beginning. So, but, I'm constantly sitting here trying to figure out how can I help these agents make more money? I had mentioned, I think we did a meeting about a month ago with Tom Donato and Sheila Godkin, who came out with the annuity program. And that was just one extra way that agents who are just sitting at their dining table like I am, working from their computer, trying to figure out how we can make more money. And that was a program that they came up with, that they put together, where we don't have to go out and show property. We don't have to go out and show the listings that we have. If we have a client that's in a financial position where they need help, they have a certain amount of equity in the property, and they're a certain age, not only can we get them paid, but they can stay in their house mortgage free for the rest of their lives, or they can go to another property and rent it out and collect that income until they pass away at the end there. So I think it was a great opportunity for older people and for our agents who have clients or family members or friends in that position. We're just constantly doing things like that, trying to figure out how to make money while being stuck at home, obviously. And, as the guidelines or as the rules and restrictions start lifting, we're starting to do more and more. The Del Mar office has really been hustling. I think we have somewhere around 85 agents in the office, and roughly about 105 agents underneath me with the mentor program. And I would say that more than 50 or 60% of them are really working right now and doing business or showing property. They're setting up situations where they're going to be going on listings. We've done some virtual listings lately. We've seen virtual open houses starting. And of course, as the guidelines lift, obviously everyone's chomping at the bit to start doing open houses again. But until we get the okay from the government for that, we're still, limited to what we can do. But there are a lot of buyers out there right now. There are a lot of sellers who are sitting on the fence who are now starting to get less fearful. And I'm seeing, because I see all of the transactions that come through the office, I'm seeing multiple offers from the $400,000 price point to $3.5 million. I saw a transaction that happened a month ago where one of the buyer's agents, or one of the agents who was representing a buyer here in Del Mar, lost out on a $2.6 million property in Del Mar, which had 5 offers and bid up $100,000. So talking to another agent in the office, just letting this person know that another agent in the office, this is how busy, because she's asking what's going on with the people in the office. I was actually able to put those two together. They made contact between each other, and they just closed escrow $1.8 million deal up in Del Mar Mesa, which closed in 11 days. It was an amazing transaction. And the ladies were the ones that had the foresight to see that, oh, wait, we have business that we could be working together. Jason just sort of facilitated by telling us that happened. So It's great that they were able to see that and put it together. There is just a lot of business to be had out there right now, even in this situation.
Now, what would you say is like the biggest? So just so whoever's, people are watching, not only are you a branch manager in Del Mar, you're a director for the mentee program, correct?
Correct. So 7 years ago, I came to the company back in March of 2013, originally from Prudential, which, a lot of our coworkers are all from Prudential. Mm-hmm. And I started as a regular agent. I've been doing this now for 17 years as a regular agent. The mentor program in Del Mar for 7 years, director of the mentor program for about the last 5 or 6 years throughout San Diego County, and then branch manager now for about 2 years. And I superseded Don Conley, who was one of my mentors.
Good, nice. I remember, like, I feel like I've known you for forever.
Long time. Yeah.
I knew you when you were part of a team, and it's just been so awesome to watch you just grow into these roles that you have now. So just awesome to watch. Congratulations on all that success.
Thank you.
How are you figuring out the balance between? Because I don't know how you do it. I feel like you have 2 jobs. Like, how do you do both?
I have 3 jobs.
Are you balancing?
If you throw in psychologist, bartender, watching your kids when on Zoom when you got to go somewhere. I'm just kidding. I don't really do that. I'm not babysitting, but yeah, there's a lot of different hats that I wear. It helps that I'm single, and I have a lot of time. I've been a workaholic my entire life. I get that from my father. Like I said, I think if anything, being here has really sort of put other things in perspective in my life. And I always tout family comes first. And to this end, I still believe it. But my family is not only my blood family, but it's also the friends that I choose to spend time with. And then it's also the family here at the office. I have some amazing relationships with coworkers, including Mike. Mike would understand that. My admin, my TC, other agents within the office, within the company. These people are my family, and I treat them as such. And I think they know I'm pretty much a straight shooter. And if they're going to ask me a question, they're going to get an honest answer, even if they don't like the answer. So I spend time focusing on the relationships first. And now, like you're seeing, and like we've talked about, now I'm starting to spend a little bit more time focused on my health and myself. That's sort of the gift I'm giving myself, because I'm still a workaholic. Even though I'm in the office right now, I've been in the office for the last couple of weeks on and off, at least almost every day, if not every other day. So I
Jason,
don't know where else except in the office and working.
To dive a little deeper about the mentor program,
sure.
What does that do for an agent? An agent takes their real estate exam, gets their license. They have plenty of brokerage houses that they can choose from.
They do.
Why choose your mentor program and start with you as they build their career forward, move their career forward in real estate?
I'm gonna say when I talk about the mentor program, I'm gonna say Sotheby's mentor program. Something that we discovered, or I discovered when I first started being the mentor, and then as I got to know some of the other mentors in the company, and we all started collaborating. There are mentor programs throughout Southern California, obviously, in other companies. But one thing that we do that I don't think other people do is we ride shotgun with our agents. And so I'm not just the mentor, I'm your partner. And I might not be the partner that's holding the open house with you. That's your job as the new agent. But we get 60, 70% of our business off of open houses. And that's buyers and sellers, because it's so personable, because we've taught them how to talk to the clients who are walking in, or the potential clients that are walking into that open house. It's about building the relationship with the person. You get 5 minutes to charm them, show them that you're educated, and win them over, so that they at least pick up the phone again to have a conversation with you. We still have to do our job. We still have to go out there and find the business. the buyer these days is much different from what they were a decade ago. Everybody is on the internet, especially during COVID-19. I kept telling people, don't be afraid of this right now. Don't be afraid of quarantine. The entire world is sitting at home looking at the internet for real estate. And whether they're willing to buy now or sell now, they will when we come out of this if they haven't started. But what we're seeing now is with the guidelines lifting a bit and things are getting a little bit more back to normal, we're just seeing a ton of business right now. And I think that when you see multiple offers in the $2.5 million, $3.5 million price point, that's amazing to me. And I know that the over 8 million price point is really moving right now. Also, we're seeing a lot of cash offers, but more than that, we're seeing some amazing interest rates with the financing. When you start seeing them under 3%, that's insane for 30 years fixed.
Yeah.
Should be getting buying a home.
This past weekend, I was reading an article from a real estate magazine talking about how a lot of younger families that are in the city are now going to start kind of working their way out from the cities into more, suburban areas. And over the weekend, I got a couple calls from some new buyers that were from downtown San Francisco and downtown San Diego, and they're all kind of looking in the outskirts, off the 15, off the 78, and off the 5 areas. More into the family-driven areas. I think that, people are realizing that, their downtown condo where all the restaurants were and all the bars were and stuff, that might not be accessible as it was before. And so I think their minds are kind of changing to what they're wanting and so forth. And on top of all of that, we have these low interest rates. A buyer pre-approved maybe 3 years ago called me over the weekend saying, I'm not going to get into a bidding war. I'm going to pay my price, and if I get into a bidding war, I'm going to walk away. And I said, well, just so you know, we're in COVID, and even though we are, everybody's still buying and selling right now. And she wrote an offer on a property, and guess what? It's a 3-buyer counteroffer going on right now, in this $1.5 million price point. It's really unbelievable, and it's exciting to see that people are motivated. Conservatively motivated, but they're still motivated because of the rates, the income tax benefits, and San Diego flat out is just a great city to live in. I mean, what part of San Diego can you not find a great opportunity to buy and a great community to live in right now? It's everywhere. Everywhere is a great place.
The entire county is just booming, in my opinion. And we hear often that people asking, well, are the prices coming down in these areas? Maybe in some areas where the seller was chasing the market and they were a bit too high to begin with, you're going to see them drop. But for the people who are priced right for what the market is right now, we're seeing multiple offers and you're getting bid up. So I really still think that we're doing fantastic for being in quarantine right now.
Agreed. Agreed. And I would ask, just a follow-up question to that is, when you're working with your mentees, as a mentor, you're leading by example. You're obviously you're actually telling them how to build their business. And I know this for a fact because I went into an open house and you were literally coaching somebody who the agent was hosting an open house, and you literally were coaching her, talking her, drilling, saying, okay, if they respond like this, how are you going to respond? And you let her talk, and then she responded, and then you kind of a little bit, a little bit better question. And so that's awesome. I think that for me is leading by example, because you're investing in your agents, and you're investing in these agents who are hungry to learn, and what great opportunity they have to have you just there, on their side. So that's super cool. I just wanted to throw in that example because I know you're an active coach,
Yeah. I'm out there. I'm with them regularly. I've been on listing appointments. I'll tell you, before I got into being the mentor, I was always a buyer's agent in my early career. And I had probably been on a handful of listings before I became the mentor. And then I became the mentor. And I was so nervous to go on that first listing appointment with an agent because I wasn't good at my own listing appointments, right? I'd only been on a couple of them. And I stopped myself before I went on that first one. And I said to myself, okay, this is that moment where you're going to fake it to make it. This person is counting on me to help them get their first listing or their first transaction. And I can't go in looking like a rookie because I've been in the business for 7 or 8 years or 9 years, and I've only been on 5 listing appointments. So I went in there like I knew what the hell I was talking about, and I did that enough times that I realized I actually didn't know what the hell I was talking about. So, and from there, we've just had some amazing success, and I'd like to say that all the mentors within our company have been top notch, and they've all been extremely successful. I do think we run not only the most successful program in Southern California, but one of, if not the most successful program in the country. I really do.
Good, nice. Yeah, I know how it's got to be. It's got to be a system that's. I mean, it's tried and true. You guys are continuing to pump out these agents that are doing well, and you're a testament of that program.
We have agents who have been in the business 3 years, who have graduated the program and are at 15, 20, 25 million in sales, which is fantastic. We've got agents who have graduated the program in less than a year, that what they're contracted for. I have one agent, the best we've ever done, or the fastest, I should say, in the graduation was Alex Cardarelli, who's now on the Coast, but she graduated in 2.5 months.
Wow.
And the first year, I think she went on to do over a dozen transactions. She was averaging at least 1 a month. So we have some impressive agents. Obviously, you get in what you get out what you put into it, and so you've got to hustle. The biggest thing I would say is that regardless of whether you're a new agent or you're a seasoned agent, oftentimes there's some fear about talking to people face to face or over the phone. Just be fearless. It's the biggest thing I could say. No matter what fear you have in this moment, put it aside when you're talking to a potential client, because they feel it. And act like, even if you got to fake it to make it,
sure,
you know what you're talking about, and be strong when it comes to the information that you give them. Be accurate. If you don't know it, just say, you know what, that's a great question. I can find out that information and give you a call back on the next hour, or whatever it may be. Just be honest. Let them trust you. Obviously, that's one of the biggest issues, is people don't feel they can trust their agents. And if you can just be honest with them, look them in the face, and if you don't have an answer, don't make it up. Just let them know that that's a good question, and you can find out that information and get back to them. It's a great way to get their information and their contact information so you can call them.
Are you accepting new agents? Are you accepting new agents right now for your mentor program?
We are. I've graduated some people, and of course, obviously, it's been on hold since the quarantine happened. But I see a lot of the inquiries that come in for people who are new agents who want to come into the business. It's amazing to me the number of emails that we've actually gotten from agents who want to start their real estate career while being in quarantine. Right now, I don't think the DRE is giving tests. So all of the people are on hold. We're getting a lot of phone calls and emails from people who will be taking their exam who haven't taken it yet. So they will come in. There's a lot more coming.
Gotcha. Yeah, I really like being a part of your business, Jason. Helping these newer agents and educating them on the fundamentals of real estate, in my case, lending. It makes me remember where I came from, and to slow it down a little bit, because it's always about the fundamentals. And as long as we keep it simple for the agents, it's easy for them to communicate that to their potential customers. And then it helps increase motivation, because they're less scared to move forward in that purchase or sale transaction. So, that's why I like being a part of the group and helping the team, know what they need to know so they can be profitable for everybody.
I think having you sit in on the mentor team meetings has been huge for the team, but also for me. I understand lending to a certain point, but my wheelhouse is real estate. And so being able to ask questions to you on a regular basis, because I have the access to you, has been, it's changed my career because of the amount of knowledge that I have now about the lending. But the guidelines are constantly changing, and I have too much to do to keep up with that. That's where you come in. And so, and I feel for you, because I feel like they change every 24 hours. So you're constantly different questions that are coming up, and what you just told me last week has now changed this week. And okay, Mike, so how are we going to do this, and how are we going to get this done, and what can I do for my client to make sure that we're going to put this deal together? So you've been really imperative in that, especially during the multiple counter situations where Mike is able to actually reach out to the listing agent, make some phone calls. He's got relationships with a lot of those agents, not just the ones that are in our company. So that goes a long way. It's the same thing with me talking to my agents when they're writing an offer. I always ask them, who's the listing agent, right?
Sure.
If I have a relationship, I'm making a phone call also. Anything we can do to really just kind of get in there. Yeah.
Yeah. The stories that I hear on the other side, I mean, the stories that I hear about how loan officers communicate to agents and to buyers, it's just, I'm just like blown away sometimes of the excuses and stories that I hear. So to help the agents understand what they're hearing and to know that, there is a lot of smoke out there in the sales industry, and to help them weed through that so they can have a clear picture about what type of buyer they're working with or what type of seller they're working with, really helps. And it's worked many times where, I'm providing a second opinion to a buyer, and unfortunately I didn't get the loan for whatever reason, but because I was able to look at the buyer's documents and at least, understand what I can do for the buyer, and then a couple weeks later get a phone call saying, hey, my lender can't do the loan for whatever reason, and then I'm able to jump in there and get the loan closed a little bit more quickly because we're able to provide that second opinion earlier in the process. It's happened quite a few times, and we're able to save escrows that way.
You have been, and I'm not going to lie. One of my weaker characteristics is following up with the lead on a regular basis. And so one of the things that I do is, as soon as I get the lead, I pass it on to Mike. And Mike is able to continue to follow up when I know that I'm going to drop off, and I think most real estate agents are guilty of that. So it's like having a partner who's going to continue to stay on top of it. And it's been great because Mike will reach out to me from time to time and say, hey, I just spoke to so-and-so. It sounds like they're getting more serious. You need to reach out to them if you haven't spoken to them lately. So I appreciate that help too. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. My training, some people are good with the tech and the Facebook landing pages and all the other stuff. For me, I started in lending, dialing for dollars. Yeah. And so, we a long time ago had big, thick title books of names, numbers, and addresses, and I made hundreds of calls a day. And so for me to keep track of my leads in Excel and my CRM, to keep track of my leads and touch on them even over a 6 month period of time, we can convert. So it's a lot of fun to just smile and nod and be there and be top of mind. That's what it's always been for me. It's been top of mind, not being pushy or salesy or give them the close. It's always just being available and knowledgeable and ready to answer questions when the time is right, because it's all about timing sometimes when it comes to lead generation.
And doing it without being a used car salesman. Give the information away. Give it because you care for the person, regardless of whether you know them or not. You care. You just want them to have a good transaction. You want them to be happy. You want them to get what they want. I would love to represent them, and if I get the opportunity to do that, great. But more importantly, especially in quarantine, be compassionate. Care about the other person. It's about them. It's not about the paycheck. It's about your client, getting them the home or helping to sell their home. The paycheck is the reward at the end of it.
Yep.
Dude, I mean, I'd love to kind of close up. I know you got an appointment you got to run to, but in quarantine, you've had a lot of aha moments, a lot of like enlightening moments, I'm sure. What's one thing that you would share with a potential mentee, and then what's another thing that you would share with a seasoned agent that you've learned?
I'm going to combine it, right? So I think this can go for regardless of what situation you're in, regardless of whether you've been in the business for a year, a month, or 20 years. We all get very stressed out in this business. And I make the joke, and I apologize for any of my bosses that are watching this right now. I make the joke that this industry can turn you into an addict, right? Yeah. We hold an open house. We have this amazing open house, and we think we're going to write 10 offers by the end of the weekend. And then Friday comes around, and not only did we not write any offers, but we didn't get any responses from any of the phone calls, text messages, or emails that we sent out. And we are up here at the end of the weekend, and then by the end of the week, we are down here ready to slit our wrists because no one has responded to us. And the stress and anxiety that is caused from all of that, I think the best thing that we can do is stay healthy. And by doing that, we've got to release our endorphins, which means we've got to get out there and we've got to exercise and help center ourselves. One thing I've really discovered in these last couple of months is that when I'm feeling stressed or anxious, if I go out and I kick the crap out of myself and do 5 to 8 miles of a fast walk or an attempted jog, I feel 1,000 times better, like I can take on the world. And I'm in that place, and I'm not feeling so cynical, and I don't feel like I'm never going to do another deal again, or I'm never going to give the right answer ever again. When I feel like I have strength in here and in here, then I can go out there and just do what needs to be done, whether I'm selling or just having a conversation or being compassionate and listening to somebody else talk. I'm able to be on my game by keeping myself healthy in my mind and in my body. So that has been the biggest thing. And I talk to agents all the time who call me stressed out, freaked out, in the dumps. You know what? Get out there, go take an hour walk. You don't have to go fast. You don't have to count how far you're walking. Just go out there and walk. As soon as those endorphins get released, you're going to feel like you can conquer the world. Yeah, I agree.
I love that. So it's like the airplane metaphor where if stuff's happening, the mask, the oxygen masks fall down, you got to put it on yourself first, right? Before you can help somebody else.
So you can focus and take care of everybody else, right?
Yeah,
and I think that fits perfectly for all of us. Like I said, how many hats do I wear? I'm just like the regular agent, though. The regular agent's wearing 30 different hats for their client, right? They've got a husband and wife who don't agree on the type of home that they want. They've got to talk to them both as a couple and then individually to keep them on point and help them to make decisions and come together again. So I think we're all in that position, and we all feel a bit overwhelmed and stressed out over that. But if we can stay healthy in mind and body, then it allows us to be a better agent and a better person and a human being.
Yeah.
Stay
healthy. I can agree with that.
Yep.
You know, it's you're in control of your life. The only thing you can control in all this chaos is what you do every day. And eating, exercising, and keeping your mental health is the first few things to do. And then everything else will fall in the line. I agree with that.
I do want to make one more observation. 17 years I've been doing this. Not only the world, but the industry itself it seems like it's gotten more vicious, more cutthroat, right? I mean, it feels like that every year. Especially when the buyers and sellers know as much as we do from looking online, or at least they think they know as much as we do.
Yep.
And what I would say about the COVID-19 scare and quarantine is that I've seen a lot of compassion come back into the world.
Yeah.
What would normally be a vicious moment or a very serious moment, instead of going and trying to sell people on real estate or go buy that home or go sell your home, it's more, I just care that you're doing okay. And is there anything I can be there to help you with? I've seen a lot of that come around, and I've seen the world soften a little bit, or at least my world here in San Diego. People genuinely seem like they care more. And I'm hoping that the world can stick to that after we come out of this. But it's been refreshing. It's renewed my faith in humanity. I like to say that I'm not so much religious as I am just believing in the inherent goodness of people, and they haven't let me down through this quarantine, and I've been impressed by everyone. So I'm thankful for that.
Well said, man. Jason, I appreciate you so much. Thanks for being on. I know you're a busy guy. Got a lot on.
Thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate it. This has been fun.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Jason.
Glad to have you back on again.
Anytime.
30 minutes is not enough to.
Has it been 30 minutes?
What we need to do is we need to get a couple of bottles of scotch, and we'll do it Joe Rogan style and talk for 4.5 hours. And
I don't know anyone who has scotch bars in their office, but if they did, come hang out.
Hey guys, well, thanks so much. What's a great place for Jason? What's a great place for someone to connect with you if they're interested to find out more about your program or about your branch, or just reach out if they have any questions?
You can find me on the Pacific Sotheby's website, obviously. You can always walk into the Del Mar office. Well, I guess not these days, you can't, but you can always reach me on my phone. I pick it up, and if I don't, I've got these little canned responses that I can text you real fast that will tell you that I'll call you back as soon as possible. And my number, of course, 858-204-4262, or jason.fogleman@pacificsir.com. You can reach me anytime. I'm happy to have a conversation, whether it's real estate or life in general. If you just need an ear to talk, an ear to listen, I'm happy to listen. So I'm here.
Good, man. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you. Have a great day. Fantastic week. And we'll be in touch soon.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks,
Take care, guys.